Welcome back to Invincible Jacksons. My name is Tori. If you were new here or don't recognize my channel, this is my outlet to just show my appreciation for the Jackson family in hopes of keeping their legacy alive. Today's video isn't going to be anything too extravagant, but it is going to be pretty exciting because, as you know, we've recently found out some awesome upcoming news in the Jackson community. And there actually have been some awesome things that have happened so far. So if you want to stay in the loop on, all things Jacksons, keep watching this video and stay tuned. So thank goodness for Twitter, because if I didn't have Twitter, I probably wouldn't have realized, I probably wouldn't have been paying attention too much to exactly what was going on and certain dates and everything. It's so many dates and anniversaries to remember. But I saw a tweet about the 25th anniversary of the Velvet Rope album by Janet, and I was like, oh my goodness, when is that? And literally it was coming up, I don't know, within a week, 2 weeks. I was like, oh snap, it's coming up quick. And so I go to the hashtag, because the hashtag TVR25 was blowing up within the Janet community specifically. And so, I'm just looking at it, I'm like, wow, this is approaching fast. I wonder if Janet's going to do anything. But, I'll just wait and see. So, I'm getting my mindset ready to celebrate that and everything. And, it was I want to say it might have been 2 or 3 days out before the anniversary, which, if you didn't know, was October 7th. And I was like, okay, I wonder if she's still gonna do something, because I know in the past she's put out anniversary records and vinyl sets for Rhythm Nation. I believe she might have did one for Control. I'm not sure, I can't exactly think of it off the top of my head, so I could be wrong. But I was like, I wonder what she's gonna do for it. So I happened to be on Google, and on Google it showed me this article, because my phone knows me. Anything Jacksons, it recommends articles about the Jacksons, anything, Michael, Janet, Prince, anybody. But it said Janet has announced a deluxe version of the Velvet Rope for the 25th anniversary, and I'm like, what? And at first I'm thinking maybe this is a hoax, because I got her post notifications on. I visit her website religiously, every day, just about. And I just haven't seen anything. So I'm like, okay. So I'm reading, and I'm skimming over the article, but I'm like, let me be sure, because if one thing's for sure, the fans will know. So I went and I looked and I searched into Twitter, Janet Jackson, Velvet Rope Deluxe, something like that. And I saw tweets from the fans that be in the loop. So I'm like, okay. So this must be legit. So I go back and I read the article, and basically it's saying she's gonna have not a 2-disc, because it's on streaming platforms, but they call it 2 components. So on the first part, it's gonna have the regular track listing, and then on the second part it was gonna have remixes of some of the songs and stuff like that. So Together Again, I believe they had one for what was it, Got Till It's Gone, just songs like that and stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. And they also said it's gonna be 2 unreleased songs on there. So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. But Janet hasn't said anything about it. It wasn't until I visited the website maybe 11 o'clock, because it was a Friday when the 25th anniversary came out, or when the 25th anniversary happened. It wasn't until Friday at 11 p.m. and I was looking on Twitter, and then somebody was like, so we all listening to the Velvet Rope Deluxe, it just dropped for the first time back in 97. I was like, it's out already? So I'm going to look, it's on there, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And then so I go on her website, she finally had it updated to where she was promoting the Velvet Rope 25 Deluxe version. So I listen to it that night while I'm doing the dishes. I go through the whole track listing of the album, like the regular, and I'm just like, yes, this album is so good. Oh my goodness. That album is like so good. Like I want y'all to really like research the behind the scenes, what was going on, and like the meanings within the album, because it's deep. She basically lets us into her head, and like she said that this was the album that took the longest to do, or like one of the albums that took the longest to do, because she was going through so much mentally and like going through so much healing and stuff from her childhood and her past and stuff like that. So listen to it. It has a great message, and I've heard it's helped fans and stuff. But I went to listen to it, and the two songs that were unreleased were at the end. One was called Accept Me, and the other one was called God's Stepchild. Both really good. Both have really good meanings. And I'm like, how did this not make the album the first time? How did it not make the album? But I'm glad it's out. And yeah, they sound really good. So if you haven't listened to it yet, go listen. As far as remixes, a couple stood out to me. This is the one she did with Blackstreet. I can't think of it right now, but the one she did with Blackstreet, that was really good. I was like, okay, I'll snap. And of course, I updated my Jacksons playlist. I'll link that below. I'll put them on there. Another thing that I noticed that changed was her. Okay, so at the end of the original album, the last song is Special, and then it's like dash hidden track can't be stopped. So if you listen to the album, at the end of Special, if you wait, it's one of those tracks where if you wait for a bit, you're gonna get another song within that same track. So Can't Be Stopped was a part of the last track. Well, now it's separate. Like it's two separate songs. So you don't have to wait anymore for Can't Be Stopped. And I'm like, yes! So she split that up for us. And two of my favorite songs on the album. Love those two. And she also, like, I was on my way to work, and I was like on Instagram, and normally like I'm terrible at checking my notifications and everything. I saw a drop down and it said Janet Jackson's Live. So I was like, you know, I'm like, oh, Janet's live. I'm like, oh my goodness, Janet's live. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's the 25th anniversary. Like, I need to catch her live. So she basically at this party, and she went to go surprise her friends and everybody who was there to support her. And then she put Jimmy Jam on the screen on a video chat thing. He had stuff to say, and like she basically gave this kind of like brief speech about the meaning of the album, how much it meant to her, kind of like how it was kind of like created and everything. And then she like tells the story about what happened like when it was first released. It's really good. I'm definitely going to put it in there because I want y'all to see it.
This album is so close to me. It was, I would say, out of all the albums that I created, and especially with Jimmy and Terry, it was the most difficult. Wouldn't you say that, Jimmy? The most difficult album for me to create. I was going through so much in my life, and it was so deep in trying to find and figure out who I am, where I stand, and at the end of the day, like I did with the other albums, just putting it down, never keeping a journal. I'm sure a lot of you already know this. And I didn't know if my fans would like it, but one of the I guess one of the best moments in my life connected to this album, the day that it was released, I was on the 405 freeway, and I was in traffic. I was headed toward the valley, coming from Malibu, and someone honked their horn. Now, at that time, we had CDs. And this person kept honking their horn, and I happened to look over, and there was a girl in the car, and she held up the Velvet Rope CD, and she smiled at me. It made me feel so good. That was the first person to acknowledge to me that, yeah, you did something that I really do appreciate. And 25 years later, it being #1 again. Thank you so much. I'm so thankful to God and thankful to all of you. You guys, I am so blessed. God is truly
All right, so next on the docket, we got Thriller 40. We have so many updates, so many updates. And like there were times like, you know, I thought about, oh, let me just make a video about this because all these announcements. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to tell everybody. But you know, I'm just compiling it all into one right now. So we have some awesome stuff coming up for Thriller 40. If y'all don't know, the 40th anniversary of Thriller is happening November 30th. It's the biggest selling album of all time. You know, that's basic fan knowledge. But yeah, so as far as Thriller 40, you know, I did a video on it, my thoughts like when it first got announced and everything. We're finally getting the second disc track listing, and so far we have 6 songs. I believe they're doing 10 in total for the second disc. So I think the first one they did was Behind the Mask. Then they did Got the Hots. These might be out of order. They did... Oh, I'm blanking. The Toy, which was is the original version or original demo version of Best of Joy, which was on the 2010 Michael album. We also have She's Trouble. Yep, She's Trouble. And then we have a new one that I've never heard of at all. It's called What a Lovely Way to Go. So I'm excited to hear that one. And today we got Sunset Driver. So as far as the ones that I have not heard The Toy yet. I have not heard What a Lovely Way to Go. And I believe I've heard She's Trouble once, but I can't even remember what it sounds like. And I'm not even going to try to listen to it because I kind of want that element of surprise to hear what it sounds like. I do hope they put Hot Street, Nightline, and Don't Matter to Me. The one that Drake featured on his song. But I would like to hear a full version of that if they have it. Especially Hot Street. Like, I know I've heard Hot Street 1,000 times, but I just want to officially release if it hasn't. Not to my knowledge it has, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so I'm excited to, you know, see what else they're going to put on there. And also, it slipped my mind. Big news. They actually changed the CD cover. I know this news has been out since August, but y'all know how I was feeling about those covers and designs, like right when the news first got announced. I was not too thrilled about that font, but they changed the CD cover, and it's not even necessarily the cover. They have the original cover. Of course, I'm gonna put a picture. They have the original cover, and the thing that changed is they have like this slip cover over it. So the CD goes inside and it has like the 40, and then it's going to have like a cutout part where you'll see his face. So far, Amazon was the key, like that kind of spilled the tea to us about the change of the cover. Target has changed the CD cover, and Walmart doesn't have it listed on there, but I feel like they took it down to update the cover. So if you're trying to pre-order from Walmart, I'm not entirely sure if they have it up yet. What I am confused about is like the differences of this new cover, and then they still have like the special edition vinyl releases on the old font, which I'm confused with. Like, it just, I don't know, it doesn't match. So I'm like, are they going to change that too? Like, they haven't made an official statement about it. They just kind of like put it up on the official Michael Jackson website and just kind of like called it a day. Like, they haven't said anything. They didn't announce anything about that MJ1 either, which I thought they would, but I don't know. We're just going to have to see. Of course, pre-order if you want it. So far, this second disc track listing is looking good. So I think I'm at least going to go get that, pre-order that CD. And as far as the vinyl, I may get the Walmart. Maybe. I don't know. I just like how they put the alternate cover on there with him and the baby tiger. In other news, something I really, really want to talk about. It is the Thriller Challenge. Now, an amazing team of fans has put this together. If y'all don't know, all 7 of the Thriller singles did hit the top 10 on charts. But the Thriller single itself did not hit number 1, specifically on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. It peaked at number 4, but the purpose of this Thriller Challenge is to get it to number 1, specifically for the week of, I believe it's October 28th, so it's coming up soon, to November 4th. So I'm reading a tweet. It's by And Justice for Some. If you're not following And Justice for Some on Twitter, I suggest you do. They are one of the key people on the team that have been keeping all the fans updated and everything. And they've been answering a lot of questions and all that, and they have all the information regarding streaming and stuff. But they put out a tweet that said, records Michael would break if Thriller goes number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. He would break his own record of a top 10 hit in 5 different decades to go to 6. So I believe he had a top 10 record in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, I believe 2010s with the posthumous releases maybe. And if we get Thriller up to top 10 at least, which we're shooting for number 1, but if we get it to top 10 at least, it'll be in 6 different decades, and that would be so cool. He would break Kate Bush's record of having the oldest song on the Billboard Hot 100, because Thriller is older than her song Running Up That Hill. I don't know if I'm explaining this right. And then he would tie Mariah Carey for having a number 1 in 4 different decades. So guys, we really need to get this to happen. But in order for us to get that to happen, here's some goals that they also put out. We need 18,000 streams or 18,000 single track sales of Thriller. So not the Thriller album, but the Thriller single itself. And then we need, as far as streams, we need 40 million streams and 6 million radio airplay audio impressions, my bad. So yeah, we're gonna have to put in work. I already started doing it because at first I was kind of confused, to be honest, about like when it started. But of course it's gonna like officially start up, like I said, on October 28th. But this Saturday, October 15th, it is going to roll out, and I believe this is kind of like a trial run. They're putting out a website for it. They're putting out like trial runs of like streaming parties online for fans, and stuff like that. So we'll all be prepared for the week, which they have a really good plan, really organized. So kudos to the people on the team. Another person on the team, if you do not follow her, please follow her. She goes by Melly for Justice on Twitter, and she tweeted out important dates on the 15th. Like I said, they're gonna have their webpage roll out on October 21st. They're gonna have an event calendar / flyer rollout, and then from October 28th. Now this is crucial. From October 28th to November 3rd, buy, stream, and call radio stations to play the Thriller single. Okay? Now that is key. Do not buy the single until October 28th. Do not. And some things that they also said is that, one thing I was doing at first, because I looked online and I thought, it was okay to do this. I kept Thriller on mute on repeat, and it probably played like at least 20-30 times maybe, I don't even know, until I found out that streaming services might consider that like bot behavior and they might not count the stream. And I also heard you have to keep the volume up. So a solution that I read that somebody tweeted was, put your headphones in your computer, put your headphones in your phone, you know, while it's playing. And also, like, you know, don't play it back to back. Use different devices to stream it on. I believe they said Amazon Music is doing a free 4-month premium type deal. Spotify, I believe you can get a certain amount of time for free, maybe 3 months free. I know they did a deal where for 99 cents you can get 3 months free of Spotify Premium. So looking at deals and stuff like that. I have also created a Spotify playlist for the Thriller Challenge once everything rolls out. It's gonna have like different versions of the Thriller single on there. And in between each of them, I put tracks from the actual Thriller album just so it balances it out and it doesn't look like bot behavior. So I will link that down in the description. Feel free to add it to your playlist and definitely feel free to share it so we can get Thriller to #1. Now, for all my collectors and readers, I have some book news for you. So I have 2 books that I want to talk about. And I really want to bring them to everybody's knowledge because, you know, I believe they're limited edition, or at least limited, very limited amount. And so, you know, you better go get them. So the first one we have is called The Story of History by thejacksons. So The Story of History tells the fascinating story of how Michael Jackson created the most important album of his career, addressing racial prejudice, social injustice, accusations, media intrusion, environmental issues, and mental health. Taking an in-depth look into all aspects of the album, The Story of History covers the creation process behind each song on the album's second disc, plus the creation of the cover, naming the record, the marketing campaign, and the short films, accompanied by stunning photography from the history era and first-hand accounts. This book is a must-have for those looking to find out more about Michael Jackson's most important album. So, yeah, that sounds like it's going to be a really, really good book. I really love history, and like the older I get, the more I feel like I identify with it and I understand it like even more. It is very important, and a lot of fans like the album, and I understand why. Like, I'm with them. It's one of my, it has to be in my top three albums of all time, top 3 Michael Jackson albums. So let me see how many are left, because like I said, it was limited. Yes, so it's 72 in stock currently, and they just actually re-released it. I believe it was previously released back in, or like originally released, I don't know exact date, but like a couple years ago, and it sold out. But the author brought it back for the Kingvention event over in Europe, and now they're selling it online. The next book I want to bring to your attention, actually this is thriller related, I forgot about it, but it is the Ultimate Collector Book Volume 2 Thriller from 1982 to 1986, and it is not, well, hold on. The creators of the book is Sebastian Mille and Fabrice Enselet. I'm sorry if I butchered the name, but yeah, this is a really, really, really unique book set. If you guys don't know about the books, they've done one for Bad, Dangerous, History, and Invincible, I believe. I'm not sure about Off the Wall, but they're doing it for Thriller, and what's different about this is that it's 2 books in one set. So the first book is going to be from, let me see. The first book actually has, like, I think a picture like of Michael in the Thriller costume, and then the second one is him like in the military jacket at the 1984 Grammys. But basically what's in these books is just about everything, well, everything, and if not everything, just about everything that you can collect from that era. So it's a paperback box set that features 2 books of over 500 pages of collector's items from 1982 to 1986. Complete with color images, the books are split into various chapters to make it easier to navigate through the different types of collectibles that have been carefully cataloged. So I believe, let me see how many collectibles they have in this book. I can't find it, but I'll link a video down below that shows what the book looks like and like gives a bit more detail. So yeah, it was, I can't remember how many it was like they put out, but currently they only have 65 in stock. So y'all better go get it, because I mean, once they're gone, they're gone. Like, I didn't know about these books until like this year, and I'm mad about it because I really would have loved to get all the other ones and everything. And they have different versions of it. Like, I believe they had like released pocket editions and everything. So go ahead and go get that Thriller one. It's so cool. They have like like I said, pictures of all the things you could have collected from that era, as well as like, I think they have little boxes where you can mark like what you want, like what you already have maybe, or like, you know, like kind of like a wish list type thing. So it's really awesome for the collectors, and I don't know, I just really love the covers of them. So yeah, so go get the Ultimate Collector Book Volume 2 Thriller from 1982 to 1986. So as far as the Jacksons news, Marlon, Tito, Jackie, Jermaine, they have new stuff on their website. I believe they just released like it's like the varsity type jacket, and it has like the Jacksons logo, and you can get one like black and red, and then there's one that's gray and black, and then they also have a black and red one for Tito, and it says love one another, and it has his love one another logo on there. Really cool. They have put some more stuff on there. They have a bunch of signed records. They have CDs. Yeah, so just go check out their website. I believe it's called thejacksons.store. I also link that in the description. And yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of rare stuff. If you want some signed stuff from the Jacksons, you can purchase it there. And in other Jacksons news, I literally was scouring the internet to find out what Jacksons concerts are coming up. So I already know that they have one in Cincinnati coming up in November. So if you're in the Cincinnati area, if you're near there, even if you're not and you just want to go see them, yeah, it'll be November 18th, I think. And I think it's at the Hard Rock Casino. I could be wrong. I'll put the information below, like I said. So yeah, they're going to be performing in Cincinnati, Ohio next month. And then I also read that they're going to be performing in Turkey, Istanbul, Turkey. And then the next two that I found were next concerts for next year. So I'm trying to get y'all prepared early. For my people in the Florida area, down south, or like I said, if you just want to be there, they're going to be performing at the Sea Breeze Jazz Festival in Panama City Beach, Florida. The festival is from April 19th to the 23rd, 2023. So next year, like I said. I'm not sure which day they will be performing, but we will see. So Friday, February 24th, 2023 at 8:00 p.m. they will be performing at the Cerritos Center for the Performing Arts in Cerritos, California. So that's coming up as well. And I think those are the only events that I found for the Jacksons coming up, because I know like we don't find out, honestly, we really don't find out until a couple weeks out or a couple months out, when the events happen. So I'm really going to try and be on top of that so I can be as early as possible, because I know like if you need to travel for it, you know, that takes time and money and planning and stuff to do. So I'm going to do my best to keep y'all updated with that. And also keep in mind that next summer TJ has talked about doing some shows here in the States. I believe he said he's going to do California, possibly New York, maybe Nashville, Tennessee, and maybe one in Texas. We'll have to see. It's not, I don't think it's set in stone yet, but you know, get your mindset ready for it. I don't know what months just yet. I don't know what they all will consist of, but just keep that in mind. So for whatever reason, my outro didn't film, but you know, that's it for the Jacksons news. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it enlightened you a bit. But I am just overall excited for everything. I can't wait to see what comes about for Thriller 40. And I'm definitely excited for the Thriller Challenge. So thank you all for watching, and I will see y'all next time.